crazy exciting portion of this that I'm really, really excited for. And I don't know about you guys. So, okay, so the next article that I'm going to get into here is The Lord of the Rings. And this is exciting to me. And hopefully they have good people behind it, of course. Amazon's Lord of the Rings show may incorporate Peter Jackson's Middle-earth. Last November, Amazon announced that it had acquired the rights to produce a multi-season show set in the J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. The Hollywood Reporter now says that Amazon's show might include material from Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies, and that it must go into production within 2 years. Yeah, it's got to go into production if they're going to, make anything out of this. Do you guys like the idea of this? As the race for high-quality television content heated up among streaming services, Amazon has been on the hunt for big, ambitious television projects to keep up with the likes of Netflix, as well as Apple and Disney's forthcoming streaming platforms. Its acquisition of the Lord of the Rings franchise brings them an enormously successful and recognizable property. Amazon reportedly beat out Netflix for the rights, which is interesting. Man, Netflix was probably really wanting that. I bet Netflix really wanted that thing. And according to the Hollywood Reporter, it expects to spend around $1 billion on the show over the course of the seasons to which it has reportedly committed. One of the downsides to acquiring a huge property is just that. Because it's so enormously recognizable and successful, a remake will have fans wondering why the company couldn't leave well enough alone. By working out a deal that includes New Line Cinemas and Warner Brothers, Amazon seems to be sidestepping those concerns, allowing it to incorporate elements of the world that Jackson has already left ingrained in the minds of movie-going audiences. Which is, it's probably better to do that than, try to replace these iconic moments in film. That we've come to love, at least in the first three films in the original trilogy, the original trilogy, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's funny that it's like, and that's actually kind of funny. It's the same concept as the original trilogy of Star Wars. We have the prequels, and then it's like we have the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings, and then we have The Hobbit, which was just like loosely accepted, not so much. Okay, so they seem to be sidestepping those concerns, allowing it to incorporate elements of the world that Jackson has already left ingrained in the minds of movie-going audiences. Amazon said that the project will explore new storylines preceding J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring, in addition to a potential spin-off series. So, that's cool. And it'd just be interesting to see. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing. This is what I would want to see. I want to see Sauron. I would love to see his story, Sauron, and that. They kind of glossed over that, but that's your gold right there. That is your. Honestly, if Amazon, if you're listening, that's your. Which I'm sure you're not. I'm sure they won't hear this, but that's your gold. That's your series right there. You just, make a story about Sauron. They kind of tell that story. They kind of gloss over that in the beginning. The story of the seven kings and the different kingdoms and all of them. You could literally make it Game of Thrones like that. Tell the story of those kings, of what they're doing and what they're going through, and how they fought for power amongst each other and all that type of thing. You could make 10 seasons of that. Make it like Lord of the Rings, compete with Lord of the Rings. So, Amazon said that the project will explore new storylines preceding the Fellowship of the Ring, in addition to potential spin-off series. Tolkien's Middle-earth is known for its size and rich history, which will give Amazon plenty of material to work with in expanding the world that Jackson realized in his two trilogies. Indeed, Jackson's Hobbit trilogy went far beyond adapting its Nemasaki novel, expanding the story to tease the conflict that we saw featured in his Lord of the Rings trilogy. Despite its steep price tag, Amazon seems to be making a safe bet by buying into not only Tolkien's world, but Jackson's as well. So I guess, yeah, they're going to play off all the stuff that was extended, which I don't understand why. But I guess, they're trying to make it, trying to keep the continuity there, which is good. That's a good thing. THR reports that Jackson's involvement in the project is uncertain, but Jackson's attorney described the deal as a creature of the times, saying Amazon is taking a page out of the studio's emphasis on franchises in a world where Disney has laid out impressive interconnected franchises with its Marvel and Star Wars properties, and HBO is considering anywhere between 3 and 5 spin-offs for Game of Thrones. Middle-earth could be a property that gives Amazon a significant boost in the coming streaming wars, one that could entice even more people to sign up for Amazon Prime service. So, yeah, I mean, it is something to really consider. I mean, I'm a Prime member just because for the shipping and all stuff, and you can literally order anything you want. But honestly, that's an interesting and really it is an enticing thing. If they tell Sauron's story, that is what I would be psyched for. Really, like the forging of the ring, like the actual, the legend of the actual ring, the ring being forged, being created. I mean, like, come on, that is your story. That is your story. Anyway, what do you guys think? I wouldn't mind seeing Gandalf as a young lad. I don't know how old he is, but I can't remember. I think he's like 200 or 300 or something, but that would be really cool to see. Would you guys be up for that? Are you guys excited for a Lord of the Rings series? I honestly, the only way I am really, really psyched for it is if it's Sauron's story. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. This has been the Fanatics of Film, and have an awesome day.